Hey, Mac Delta Fish Co. Thanks for stopping in and checking out the video. This video is from my experience and my understanding, and of course it stemmed from a conversation I had the other day with another fishing buddy of mine, and we were just talking, fishing and how it's been lately. Um, his response was, it hasn't been good for me lately, and they're just not biting, and maybe I'm doing something wrong, and the kind of question is he's a good fisherman, um, but I would call that being kind of stuck. Of course, he asked, how am I doing? I said, well, I'm doing fine. I'm meeting my goals. I got a 5 fish goal, minimum 12 inches. I'm fishing majority of my time. I'm 6 a.m. to noon time frame. But this whole year, there hasn't been a time on my boat that I've gone out and fished and not gotten at least 5 fish over 12 inches in the boat. And that's just personal goal for me. But he goes, well, how are you doing that? What are you doing different than I'm doing? I said, well, you took out 3 lures. I've got 10 rods. That doesn't mean you have to have 10 rods. But I'm fishing different and so the mindset. So let's get all the preemptives out of the way. You're in high percentage fishing windows. You're in high percentage fishing places, and the fish should be there, but you're not getting them. Well, I would say to that, A, they're not there, and B, you're not giving them what they want. Because at the end of the day, it's what the fish want. Now, there's so many other bits and pieces to the puzzle when fishing the Delta, but it comes down to giving them what they want. And that doesn't mean necessarily, 10 different lures. It could just mean color, presentation, and given all those, you're going to hear a lot on the internet. I hear it, I see it, I watch other videos too. Use your confidence baits. Well, if one of your let's just say on a morning, the fish, and who knows what the fish want. Again, that's kind of where this comes from. They want a top water, but you're not giving them a top water because that's not in your confidence shack. Well, did you miss something? Maybe you probably missed some bites on that. Who's to say? But coming out of your comfort zone and thinking more about, instead of yourself, thinking about more of what the fish wants. And yes, there's time of the years that they want certain things, and those are givens. You have bluegill, you have post-spawn, pre-spawn, the bluegills, you have this the crawfish. Times of the year that crawfish are more prevalent. You have seasonal swings. So you have all those different things. But again, if you're not changing or presenting different things to the fish when they're not biting what you're confident in, are you missing it? Maybe. I'm not going to say 100%. My opinion is yes, you are missing it. Just because they hit your chatterbait on Wednesday, you go out Friday and you try to throw that chatterbait again and they're not hitting it. I want to give them something else to get a reaction out of them. And then there's the reaction part of it. Listen, if you're comfortable as a human trait, I'm going to say most of us like to be comfortable. We don't want to be out in 130 degree heat. We want to be tucked away somewhere where the AC is running. We want to be in our comfortable chair. We just want to be comfortable. Maybe we had a meal, maybe we didn't. But if you come in there and bug me while I'm relaxing, you're going to get a reaction. That's human nature. What type of reaction, I would say probably not a good one. You're going to get I'm not going to say violent, but in terms of fishing, if you do that to a fish, yeah, it's the animal side of it, right? You're gonna get a violent reaction. And that's kind of what we want, is that reaction. So sometimes you have to go in their house, so to speak, and piss them off. So there's aspects of fishing on that. That's technique and specific lure design. I won't go into that. That's something you need to figure out yourself. But I wanted to bring to the table a mindset of, hey, I heard that, take your 3 confidence baits out there and hit your high percentage spots and success. Yes and no. It's not up to you just because you're confident in it. That doesn't mean the fish is confident that he wants to eat it. So be willing to change. Be willing to change and offer up something else. You eat McDonald's, for lunch every day for 5 days. Don't you think you're gonna want something else for lunch? Apparently, at some point in time. Yeah. Well, it's that human animalistic instinct that you kind of tie in with each other when it comes to fishing. And then as you catch more fish with other lures, you tend to find out that you've got confidence in all your lures. You should, because, well, you figured it out. You figured, okay, they don't want a chatterbait. They want a spinnerbait. And they needed it to go through their house, or they were chasing it out on flats, or whatever it may be. But if you're going out there and you've only got your 3 confidence baits out there and you're not catching anything, how much confidence are you really going to walk away with after that fishing session? It'll leave you kind of stumped at home, like, I don't know what happened today. Location, high percentage points, season, what they're eating that time of the year, but also the type of lure. And here's the controversial part, because there's one lure out there that has got me. I'm just a believer, and if you look at all the guys that are fishing, what they end up going to when they're not having a good day, it's all the same. A Senko. Of all things, a Senko. So I don't actually have a Senko on my boat because I consider that a crutch. I consider it a crutch because, and this is so contradictory to what I've been saying this whole time. It's all in what they want. Yes, if they're not biting anything else, and I go out there and throw a Senko, I catch fish on a Senko. But that's not what I wanted to catch them on. I wanted to see if there's something else out of 10 other lures that I can catch them on besides a Senko. Because I find it that easy to catch fish all day long on a Senko. Again, the time of the year. But even time of the year, my God, it just works. So I'll say this. If you're gonna go fish, and your whole outlook is, I just want to catch fish. No matter how many lures you take, if you're going to take 5, 6, even 3, at least have a Senko in there. If that's your main goal, is just to catch a fish, take a Senko, throw it in a high percentage spot. If they're not there, go find another spot. The other things, look for your moving water, all those other things. But definitely take a Senko. For you guys out there like to catch fish on things other than Senkos, like myself, well, you gotta figure that one out. But if you're gonna go out in the morning and you're gonna throw action baits or reaction baits, and you don't throw a top water, well, you might have missed. So, be willing to change, be flexible, and understanding that it's not what you want to happen, it's what the fish, again, if all the preemptives are there, spots, water, flow, if the fish are there, you got to throw them what they want. And then the story when you come back to them, and I shoulda, coulda, woulda, if I had only done this. Well, that kind of sets you up for the next time. Well, instead of they're just not biting. In my opinion and knowledge of fishing the Delta, they'll always bite if you give them the right thing to bite, or you force them to bite whatever it is you got. So with that being said, hope that made sense to you. Hope it took your mindset differently when it comes to fishing for bass out on the Delta. What you want to happen versus what the fish is going to allow, or the fish are going to allow to happen, are two different things. I personally have my favorites that I like to catch them on, and doesn't mean, you know, if I only went out there with a frog and a jig and I consistently got 5 fish on those two alone, why would I would never have a need for any other lure. That's not the case. Hence 10 rods on my boat right now. So anyways, I hope it helps you out. It's nothing set in stone. It's just my opinion, and I hope it expands your fishing success out on the Cal Delta in the future, and hopefully it'll keep a few more fishermen, interested, and making it a lifelong passion too, just to get out there and be able to catch. Anyways, appreciate you sticking around. Watch the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Of course, please subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. This is Matt with Delta Fish Co. Tight lines.